Good afternoon, students. Are you hearing my voice? Okay. So we are in the second module of the second paper, socio-economic history of modern India. In the last concepts in the second module is the non-Brahmin movements and the role of Ambedkar. The same concept you find in the same concept you find in the third paper, Dalit movements in India, and where we can extensively go with non-Brahmin movements and role of Ambedkar. And we already discussed there, so that I am leaving the concept here and directly moving to the third module of the social and economic history of modern India. Okay. So in the third module, we have the concepts like the role of reformers in emancipation of women in 19th and 20th centuries. We are particularly discuss here about the emancipation of women and various social reformers who fight for the emancipation of women. And we also discuss here about the various women social reformers who contributed their life to the development of women of the Indian society. So these are the concepts we are going to see in the third unit of third module of second paper, social and economic history of modern India. So before going in details, I will share my screen and you can easily understand according to my screen. Okay, so this is my screen. I think you all are getting my screen. So I will go in detail. Okay. So the social reformers believed in the principle of individual liberty, freedom, and equality of all human beings, irrespective of sex, color, race, caste, or religion. They attacked a number of traditional, authoritarian, and hierarchical social institutions and launched social reform movements to liberate the Indian women from their shackles. Various social reformers you find, not only the women reformers, the emancipation of women has started with many male reformers, particularly in the 19th and 20th centuries. You are aware that, like Raja Ram Mohan Rai and Dayanand Saraswati and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar and Karve and Henry Deraggio Likewise, you find many male social reformers who contributed their life towards the development of women, particularly in the Indian society. And you also aware that many female reformers like Savitribai Phule and Pandita Ramabai, Annie Besant, and many other women reformers who were contributed their life to the development of women in the 19th and 20th centuries. So many reformers you find. Okay, so who want to emancipate the women, particularly in the Indian society, because the women in Indian society in a traditional structure, they are confined to a domestic works particularly, and you can observe certain partiality towards a male from our ancient part. Many social evils, particularly they are engaged with. When it's observed in ancient part, basically, in except the Indus Valley civilization, remaining other periods in ancient, medieval, and modern, the basic Indian society is with the patriarchal format. Only the Indus Valley civilization had certain sources where the society followed the matriarchal format. Except the Indus Valley, the whole Indian society followed the patriarchal format, where the male elder in the family was head of the family, and all members in the family should obey the orders of the head of the family. And apart from that, no importance was given to the women in the Indian family in the Indian society, and they confined to only domestic works. They forbidden education also. They had certain restrictions while moving in the society, and they were the woman as treated as somewhat partial, partial with the male, because the child, girl child, birth as they treated as a misery, and the male child birth treated as the certain auspicious. So likewise, you find certain differentiation between the women and men, and you find a gender inequality from the ancient times onwards. You find particularly in Indian society. Not only this, you also find other social evils and certain superstitions like child marriages and female infanticide, and forbidden of widow remarriages, and sati system, and many other superstitions which degraded the status of women in the Indian society. To uplift the woman, to encourage a woman towards the education, all these social reformers who work, who unitedly work to emancipate the women in particularly in Indian society of 19th and 20th centuries. Okay, so I will give you certain things. There are two distinct groups of progressive movements aimed at emancipation of Indian women. Both groups recognize the restrictive and coercive nature of the social customs and institutions. One group opposed these customs and institutions as they contradicted the democratic principles of liberty and freedom. This group was called the Reformers. The other group demanded the democratization of social relations and removal of harmful practices on the basis of revival of Vedic society in modern India, which according to them was democratic. This group came to be known as the revivalists. Social reformers believed in the principle of individual liberty, freedom, and equality of all human beings, irrespective of sex, color, race, caste, and religion. They attacked a number of traditional, authoritarian, and hierarchical social institutions and launched social reforms movements to liberate the Indian women from their shackles. Though many of the reformers were mainly men, the reform movement aimed at improving status of Indian women. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai was one of the greatest social reformer of India. He was concerned about the number of evil customs planning in the Indian society. These included Saha Marana or Sati, female infanticide, polygamy, infant marriages, nothing but the child marriages, a parda system, and absence of education among the women, and the Devadasi system. Raja Ram Mohan Rai led a crusade against the evil and inhuman practice of sati, in which a widow was forced to immolate herself on the funeral fire of her deceased husband. Sati was in practice many parts of India. It was accepted and condemned on the grounds that it would secure moksha for widows. It was also felt that a woman could be led astray if she continued to live after the death of her husband. This feeling was disproved by Raja, who felt that a woman could be led astray even during her husband's lifetime. In fact, after the death of her husband, a woman is under protection of her family, so she can be watched over with greater vigilance. Raja strongly refuted the contention that sati was a free, voluntary act of the widow and called it as a monstrous lie. Raja Ram Mohan Rai arguments and anti-sati activities led Lord William Bentinck to legislate for prohibition of sati, which resulted in the passing of Prohibition of Sati Act in 1829. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar was another great social reformer who fought to improve the condition of widows by legalizing widow remarriages. Since he felt that his own life should set an example for others to follow, he took a pledge that he could allow his daughters to study and married all his daughters after they were 16 years of age. He also pledged that if any of his daughters were widowed and they wanted to get remarried, he could allow them to do so. He was also against the prevalent custom of the polygamy. Justice Mahad Dev Govinda Ranade, M.G. Ranade, was instrumental in laying down the foundation of all Indian organization to carry the struggle for social reform, the Indian National Social Conference. This organization was the first national institutions to carry on collectively in an organized way and on a national scale and social reform movement. He took up the problems of widow remarriages and was an active member of a society which worked for widow remarriages. In fact, the Chankracharya had excommunicated him for attending the first widow remarriage in 1869. Ranade worked toward educating women. He and his wife started school for girls in 1884. Maharshi Karve showed great concern for the plight of widows and the problem of widow remarriage. He revived the Widow Remarriage Association and started the Hindu Widows Home Carvey also made efforts to improve the education levels of girls as well as the widows. He created the Carvey Women's University. His efforts in movement to liberate the Indian women are great significance and extensive and successful work brought about a change in the attitudes of people towards widows. In order to set an example for others, he married a widow after the death of his first wife. As a result of the social reform movement, a number of institutions and organizations were established. The institutions started by the reformers covered the whole country with their activities. Okay, so these are a general instruction about the emancipation of women, particularly in the 19th and 20th centuries. Apart from these male social reformers, you also find female social reformers like Sahitri Bai Phule. She was treated as a first woman teacher in India because she started many schools for the sake of girls particularly, and along with her husband Jyotiba Phule, she started many schools, particularly in the Maharashtra, for uplift of these women from the downtrodden society. And Ramabai, Ramabai Ranade, also another social reformer who also started many sadhans and schools for the women in the Indian society. And Anne Besant also another social reformer who worked for she not only participated in the national movement but also she worked as a social reformer to contribute her life to uplift the women in the Indian society. Okay, so likewise many social reformers you find who fought their life, who contributed their life towards the upliftment of women, particularly in the Indian society. They want to bring these women from bring out the women from the chains. Okay, so because they were in the chains of the orthodoxy traditions which you find in the Indian society, which is having having a link with many religions, and due to the religious aspects, the women were mainly which attached to the such orthodoxy or traditional form of Indian society. So all these social reformers, they want to bring out from the chains of these orthodoxy Indian religious society. Okay, so likewise many social reformers work to eradicate various social evils in the Indian society, particularly which attach to the Indian woman. Okay, so these are the various things about role of social reformers in emancipation of women in 19th and 20th centuries, and I will give you various institutions which established for emancipate women and to encourage these women towards the education particularly. And I will give you in the next class, and I will take another class in the afternoon after 3 o'clock. Okay, because one or two students are attended for this, and I don't want to prolong this prolong this class now. So I will give the details of the women's emancipation in next class, which will start at 3:15 like that. Okay. So I will appealing the students to be part of my class which to be started after 3 o'clock. Okay. So now I am going to ending my class, and I will meet you at after 3 again. Okay. Thank you. Thank you once again.